Hi, I'm Sienna, and I'm back with another tarot class. And tonight we're talking about the fours, the fives, and the sixes, the numbered cards in the four suits. So, of course, we're going to start with screen share. Here we go. So, the fours, fives, and sixes. Okay, so we're talking about these three spheres here, which are known on the Tree of Life as Chesed, Geburah, and Tifereth. I've heard them mispronounced and repronounced and underpronounced and overpronounced so many different ways. You know, as long as you spell it correctly, most people will understand what you're talking about. But the pronunciation I was taught is Hesed without the C, Geburah with the pronunciation on the first syllable, which I hear is not correct, and Tifereth in the center. And I've actually heard that recently as Tibereth. So I'm not sure where that came from. But if you're talking about the Tree of Life, again, these are symbols that they're not organic. These things didn't come together all at once. Okay. It's a building of a process. And most people will find whichever correspondences with the spheres that they prefer are the ones that are going to work for them over and over and over. Now, when we're looking at these three spheres, first of all, let's look at the fours. They are on the additive side. So the things in the house of four are going to be of energy coming down from above. And they're kind of, these two spheres are likened to Venus and Mars in their opposition as far as mercy and severity go. Love and war. Let's take a look what the fours actually look like in when they're put in a card here. So when we are looking at the fours of say the Four of Cups, and funny thing, I saw the Bernie Sanders meme wound up in this tarot card. The Four of Cups is water in that merciful spot. So you have this feeling of emotion with the Venusian, that merciful, that kind-hearted piece. So here in this card, we see an upset person who is being offered the Four Cups by the hand. And in the Rider-Waite tarot deck, when you see hands coming out of clouds, that's usually a symbol of the divine intervening. So the divine is intervening, offering cups to this upset person. That kind of tells us where the fours like to go. Over here, they call it luxury. I don't really grok that label on this card, but it does look like an overflowing cup of too much, right? So when we look at 4 plus wands, that's 4 plus movement. And in this card, we see it looks like somebody is celebrating. Great image of the element of mercy with movement. Okay. And in this deck, they call that same card completion. Interesting. So let's get on with the fives. So the fives are more, of course, warlike, Martian. I like this image of the five. That I used to use this image of the Five of Wands as the poster for this class because it's really a struggle. And, you know, if you're struggling to learn something, this Five of Wands is your card. Coming down here, the Five of Discs is also a very struggly looking card. There are people walking in the snow on crutches. This is not a fun time. The fives in the Crowley deck are called things like defeat and strife and worry. So that gives you a handle on what fives are about. So when we come down to the sixes, now the sixes is my favorite sphere on the whole tree. Why? Because it's right here in the center. A lot of people call that the heart sphere. Its name is beauty. It radiates gold. It's in the center of everything. So when the sixes come up, You get this radiant, blossoming, beautiful energy because it is this heartfelt thing. This is what they look like. So we see the sixes feel like victory over here in the Six of Wands in the Crowley deck. When we look at the swords of this picture, they're leaving, they're going somewhere, right? It's a journey that is beginning. And what are they taking with them? It's a mystery. When we look at, whoops, let's not get into sevens yet. When we look at these other cards of sixes, we see this heartfelt energy. Here's somebody gifting. This one's called pleasure. So it gives you an idea of what the sixes are about. They're really uplifting and beautiful and heart-based. So when you cross those, of course, with earth, air, fire, water, with action, stability, motion, and emotion, then you get these cards as we know them. So let's stop the screen share. We're going to come back to do sevens, eights, and nines next time. And so that is the second triangle of the lower part of the tree, where the numbered cards correspond with the Sephiroths, and they correspond also with the 4 elements. All right. Keep doing those small readings. We're going to get to the big reading at the very end. All right. Take care.